I tried to do this in a way that I thought would be the most understanding for everyone who kind of watches my channel. I don't have access to a lot of the allocated bottles that a lot of the different YouTubers have. So if you're looking for like, the Calumet 18 or the Russell's 13 or things like that, this is not the channel for you, okay? This is basically the whiskeys or bourbons that you could find at a local store, whether it be QFC or, a mom and pop store or Total Wine and More. And this is mostly in Washington State. One of them I got in Oregon. So I'm kind of excited about doing this. And I tried to narrow it down to 5, but I think I have 8. So I'll start off with bottle number 1. And for me, that is actually going to be the Old Dominick Single Barrel. Now, this is actually out of Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. And this bottle comes in at 124.4 proof. It's aged 7 years. And I didn't really know that much about Old Dominick until I started following the Rooster Run from the Bruzel, and it kind of got me interested, and I started looking around for it. And I was actually quite surprised that I would like it as much as I did. Now, it's a higher rye mash build, and it has like hints of leather, some dark chocolate, a little bit of cinnamon, and some caramel. Now, that's the tasting notes that you will read offline if you see them, but that's not exactly what I got. To me, it has a little bit of burn going down, but it just kind of has that spice that I think would be perfect, like in an old fashioned, To me, I like my old fashions to have a lot of flavor, a little bit more complexity than just your standard, regular old bourbon, like a Wild Turkey 101. Yet I love Wild Turkey and I love 101, but I want something that's just a little bit different. And this is a little bit more crafty to me. The Old Dominick, it's a really solid bourbon, and I enjoyed this immensely. I know I haven't drank a lot of it, and that's because I got a lot of bottles this year, which, if you're curious to see what bottles I have, there is an app that you can download on your phone. It's called Only Drams. Now, an Only Drams is really cool because you can go on there, you basically scan the QR code on each one of your bottles, and it uploads to your collection. Then you have your friends watch, or you have your friends friend you on Only Drams, and they can see what bottles you have. Or if you're part of a community or something like that, it's easier for them to see what bottles you have. So if they want to get you something for a gift or something along those lines, they won't get you something that you already got. Plus, they'll know what you like and your flavor profile for the most part. Most people tend to keep right around, I'm going to say, anywhere between 8 to 20 bottles. One being like their one that they're not going to open until a special day, which for me is this one. And then their everyday drinkers that they have that they enjoy. Like for me, it could be TX whiskey, or it could be the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, just something, that I kind of enjoy to sip on. So again, Only Drams, a great way to track your bottle selection, and just easy for you to find out exactly what I got. I'll put a link down in the description as well, okay? On to the next bottle. Coming in at bottle number 6 is a bottle that needs no introduction because everybody pretty much knows who this distiller is. This is Jack Daniel's, and this is the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Heritage, and this is the toasted barrel. Now, when I got my first bottle of this, I was kind of like, I wasn't really sure if I liked it a whole lot or not. I enjoyed it. It had a higher, just the toastedness to it didn't really hit right off the bat. But the longer that I left the bottle open and kind of waited around and then began to try it a little more a little later on, it got better to me. I absolutely love this bottle. Not only does it make my top list of the year, I think it makes many other people's top lists of the year as well. It can be found on shelves in stores. Now, people tend to buy it up pretty quick. So when you see it, if you haven't got one, you should, because they're great. I got this. My first bottle was given to me by a friend, Edwin, off of Post, and then I just found this one at Total Wine & More. Or no, actually Costco carried it. So the MSRP on this is $69, but in Washington State, of course, you know, we have the terrible tax, and altogether it came out like 81, even out of Costco. So I think it's worth it. I really do. And if you enjoy Jack Daniels, their single barrel products, I think this is going to be one of your absolute favorites, and one that whenever you get low on a bottle, you'll want to get another one to replace it. Again, Jack Daniels single barrel heritage. This is the toasted, and it's 100 proof. Just a great bottle, great flavors. I kind of wish I'd have put a little higher on the list, but you'll see why I didn't. Okay, now then, on to my top 5. Now, the next bottle is a bottle that a lot of people were looking for, and when it was first announced, a lot of people were really excited about it. And I was too, because I had never tried the Bigger Brothers to this bottle. So when I finally found it, again at Costco, I jumped all over it. This is the Old Fitzgerald Bottled in Bond, and it is the 7-year. Bottled at 100 proof, because it is a bottle in bond, but it came with, it has the cool decanter bottle style. Now, you know that the Old Fitz that is more aged to it comes in the cooler, wider bottles. But this, to me, as my first experience of Old Fitz, I really enjoyed it. I just thought it had a great, really, how do I say that? Just the flavor of it was really good, from the caramel, the oakiness, and it's a wheated bourbon too. So another one that I enjoyed everything about the bottle. Yes, this is my second bottle of it, and I'll probably get another one when this one goes down. But that's the cool thing about it, is that you can find it on shelves. And that's another reason that I wanted to make my top 7 something that you could find on the shelf every day. And the Old Fitzgerald Bottled in Bond 7-year is right up there. Great bottle. I loved it. On to bottle number 4 now. Now this one I got from a QFC in Renton. And the only reason that I got it is because I think the guy that runs the store felt a little pity on me. So this is the Penelope American Light Whiskey, and this is aged 17 years. Now I'm going to put my glasses on. It's a limited release. It's 138.8 proof, and when I first tried it, I was like, oh, that's really stout. And I'm not typically a higher proof guy, and because it came from a store here in Washington and off a shelf, it's on this list. It just has a lot of like spice kind of bite to it, but it is Penelope's, an MGP product. It's a source whiskey, yes, but they do some great finishes on things. But they call it a light whiskey. I don't know why they call it a light whiskey. Maybe it's because it's lighter in color. I don't know. But I did enjoy it. Yes, I haven't drank that much out of it, because it's one of those ones that I want to share with friends whenever they come over, or, you know, kind of a special occasion, something like that. So the Penelope American Light Whiskey, aged 17 years. I know some people will say I'm stupid for putting it as number 4. I know some people probably have it up higher, but for me, I had to put it there because I couldn't get it on the shelf every day. So that's why it's number 4. Okay, number 3. Now, this one was really, really, really hard for me, because I had a lot of bottles to pick from. But last year, my top bottle was the Jack Daniel's Hero Selection, and it was the rye. Well, coming in at number 3 this year is the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof, and this is the Hero Selection. And this is the 2025 edition. It comes in at 128.1 proof in a great looking bottle, and just some awesome etching on it from Fort Lewis. I got this at the Classics here in Washington, and I love the history behind the bottle. I love that I found it on the shelf, and I've seen quite a few since. I bought one for a friend of mine as well, who's also a military veteran, and I've really enjoyed this. I liked it more than the Toasted. It has that Jack Daniel's note that I don't know what they do at Jack Daniel's to make this as good as it is. But from the caramel, vanilla, kind of banana flavor to it, and I don't want to say banana because it kind of throws everything off, but it kind of has like a little banana note to it. Like, have you ever eaten Runts, the little banana candies? It kind of has that flavor with it. But I don't know if it's more just that I like Jack Daniel's so much that I have this so high, but for me, easily found on the shelf this year. It's the 2025 edition of the Hero Selection, and it's definitely my number 3 on my list. And I just, man, such a good bottle. I really, really enjoyed this. And I'm probably going to have to put that aside and save it for the celebration this year. So we'll see. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Coming in at number 2. Now, this is one that you can find in stores, and it's pretty expensive, okay? But it was sent to me, and I did a review on it, and I was very impressed with it. So this is actually Garrison Brothers. This is the Balmorhea, and it is the double oaked bourbon whiskey. Now, it's 115 proof, and this is just, man, I absolutely love this bottle. And I know some people don't care for what they call the Texas funk. I call it the Texas flavor. But the Balmorhea, if you like that totally different flavor, that different taste than a standard bourbon or a standard double oaked, I think you're really going to like this. I'm a fan of Garrison Brothers. I love their cowboy whiskey. And Dan Vogelsang sent me 3 samples of the cowboy bourbon, the 2022, 2023, and 2024. And I still have them here. I'd recorded a video on them, on which one I like best, but of course had trouble with my editing software. So that video will be coming out soon. But if you get a chance to try the Garrison Brothers Balmorhea and the story behind it, you'll understand why I like it so much. Just a great bottle of whiskey, and I really think that they know what they're doing down there in High Texas. And I just, man, just a great bottle, from the vanillas and the caramels and just the oakiness that you get off this. If you are a bourbon lover and you like a little bit heavier oak in your whiskey, I think this is one that you're going to absolutely enjoy and that you'll love, because for me, this is a fantastic bottle. Balmorhea, man, Donis Todd, thank you so much. I love this bottle. You knew what you're doing. All right, folks, here it is, my number 1. Now, I also got this from that guy that takes pity out on me in Renton, Washington, at the QFC store there. And if you haven't been there and checked out his whiskey selection that they sell in that store, you're missing out. If you're in Washington State and you're looking for a good selection on whiskey, QFC in Renton is the place to go. Now, Bourbon Baller Lee, thank you so much. This is my whiskey of the year. For me this year, this is the Penelope Bourbon whiskey. It is the 10-year single barrel. And it comes in at 105 proof. The flavor on this thing is I love this bottle. I mean, you can get it on the shelves. I'm sure it's pretty much sold out everywhere unless you're going online looking for it, and you might be able to find it. Um, but I did get it in a store here in Washington State. It's part of their estate collection, and the flavors on this are just fantastic. So I, I could tell you all kinds of, what they say the tasting notes are on them and the leather and or whatever. But some of these you just got to try for yourself. And for me, if you've got a chance to try the Penelope straight bourbon whiskey that's aged 10 years, single barrel, I really think you're going to like it. Yes, it is an MGP source product, but they did a great job on this one. And before I sign off and finish this, I am going to tell you about a bottle that you can't get anymore, but is probably my favorite bottle that I've had. And it beats out any other bottle that I've had. So, one second here. Now then, I got a chance and an opportunity to go to a local distillery here in Washington State and do a bottling with two other YouTube friends. And come to find out, this bottle is just, man, I absolutely love it. It's from Copperworks here in Washington State out of Seattle. And this is the special release. This barrel was picked by Northwest Bourbon and by Baker Drinks. This is called Tropical Peaches. Now, there was 2 bottles. Now I have 1. That's all I got left. And I had never in my life thought I would get a peach flavor or kind of a spicy, creamy, vanilla, peach cobbler type flavor out of a whiskey until I tried this. I'm going to be going back to Copperworks, and they have a mixing class that I'm going to be a part of that, of course, you have to pay for, but I'm looking forward to doing that. And it won't be until May, so I will definitely do a video when that comes out. But Copperworks for here in Washington State is doing some fantastic things with their whiskey. And there are a lot of great whiskeys here in Washington State. If you haven't been around and just kind of looked and you're looking for something different here in Washington, like a different craft distillery, or maybe you want, the E.H. Taylor or the Stag or, the Jack Daniel's 14 that you can't find. There are other whiskeys here in Washington State that are readily available. Copperworks. Love Copperworks. Woodinville Whiskey Company in Woodinville, Washington. You also have Westland, which is a whiskey company. Oh, man. Oh, Bull Run. I went down to the Bull Run Distillery with a friend of mine, and we got to try some samples. And this Bull Run straight bourbon whiskey was, I really enjoyed it. And I thought it would compare with a lot of the other bourbons that are out there. And it's local, and it's not super expensive because it was down in Oregon and I didn't have to pay tax on it. I'm finding more and more that there's just certain whiskeys that I like and certain ones that I don't. I don't like a lot of the higher price crafty ones that you find out there, like Whistle Pig, that has all their different types of finishings and things that they do. I don't really like so much the different finishings as I do just a regular good sipping whiskey or a bourbon that's got a little bit more punch to it that I could make a nice old fashioned and share with friends. Because as you all know, and I've always said this, I believe that spirits, whiskeys, rums, tequilas, whatever, should always be drank in moderation, and it should have, never do it by yourself. Do it with like people that you care about, so the bottle will actually help you remember things. And for me, This bottle right here will always remind me of my first experience in a distillery doing bottling. Um, it, the guys that let me come along and do this with them, Troy and Mark, thank you again. That was a great experience, and I really enjoyed it. And this bottle will always remind me of it, and I will sip on it really slowly until it's all gone, and then it'll probably be made into something just because I like the way the bottle looks. And I actually put the stickers on this one myself. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, I would like to say thank you very much. I'm trying to gain more subscribers. Throughout my time here on YouTube, I'm going to be doing more bottle reviews, more handshakes, or samples that I've got from friends, like these samples here and all the samples I have on the bar, just to kind of give you my notes on them and thoughts. I know there are a lot of people out there, and the fact that you chose to sit here and watch this video with me, I greatly appreciate it. This is something that I enjoy and that I'm going to do in my free time, because I do enjoy it, and I enjoy sipping on whiskey with friends and family, and just having a good time. This is Wyatt with Cowboy Whiskey Adventures saying, we'll see you in the daylight. Peace, my friends.